The Riddler.
Yo people, it's the Riddler, and today I'm going to be finally going through this evil drill track that I made a few days ago. Let me just give you a little preview.
Free Palestine.
A lot of you probably already heard the beat. I posted it on TikTok and stuff, but I didn't actually record myself making this one because I was never even meant to post this one. I was just making it because I was bored, and then I posted it on TikTok and people were loving it, so I decided to drop it. So this is just going to be a breakdown. It's not actually a tutorial kind of thing. I will be going through like the techniques and showing you how I made it, but I've already made the beat, so I'll just be going through that. I'm not going to bore you lot with chatting, so let me just get right with it. I started with this little like heavy metal guitar sample from Looperman. It's actually just a Looperman sample. Well, the guitar on its own is just that. And then I added this synth, which is part of the same pack. And then after this comes in this guitar. Same guitar, just quite a few variations of it. And then this is the counter snare that I've got with it. It's two counter snares, one of them's from Ghosty's pack, one of them's from mine. I'll play the Ghosty one first. That's a Ghosty one on its own. This is my one on its own. It's just quieter and a bit rattly in the background, and together it just adds some depth to it. And then we get to the first section where my drop is, and I brought back this original guitar from the intro and I added some automation, and I'm going to go through that before I play it. So I've got my sample here and I added it to a mixer bus, which I just clicked on this one, and then I'll come down to the bottom. This usually would just be an arrow. I right click on the arrow and I put route to this track only. So this sound goes to this track, and I can put effects on this track and it'll put it onto anything I link to this track. So the first one is just a gross beat, and it's a vinyl shut off, so it plays and then it slows down like if you were turning off a vinyl record like this. You can see that goes down like that. And these are for later. So the first one with the melody is just that cut off, and I did the same thing with the drums. I added all my drums here, went through one by one and right clicked this one, which is my drum bus, and I added a gross beat on this, put the same effect, the vinyl shut off, but I also added an Effectrix preset which like loops it so it sounds a bit like trippy. And you can see I turned the gross beat back on here for a slight change. And how to do the automation, I just right click on this, create automation clip, make my shape. When it's all the way up, it's on. When it's all the way down, it's off. So I just turn it on and off just for that first trippy sound effect. And that's that. Then my kick is from my pack. I'll bring up my pack now. My drum kit will be in the description. Where even is it? Alien drum kit. There we go. Got my kick, which is the fat kick, the last one. And that plays... I'll mute everything else.
Free Palestine.
That's just my kick pattern. I got my snare, which is also in my kit. It's the dirty snare. I'm going to start playing it from here just so I don't have to do the automation every time. And that comes here. Just a normal drill snare really, and that's the same hi-hats from, or counter snares from the original. Now this 808 is not from my drum kit, it's from Ghosty's. I'll pull that up now real quick. Credit, I think it's, I'm sure it's homemade 1, but I'll double check that. Oh no, it's homemade 10. That's this one. And I will play this on its own just so you can get a feel for this. Put all my automation back on so it doesn't trip out. And this is the first one. I've got it a high 808 dropping down an octave below with a slide, and obviously slides, you either just click this button or press S on your keyboard, or you can double click the note and this page will come up and you can highlight that, but the easiest way is just press S and then place a note. I've got that playing here, and with the automation, that's the first pattern. And then I've got a grind bass in here as well that plays just one note. You can hear it there, just adds a little effect to it. And that's it for the first part, and I just take out and bring in, obviously you can see I've got a lot of cuts. I've also got this vocal effect, I've got my risers and things, but you lot know like how to use risers and stuff. This vocal effect is from what pack this, there we go, Filthy. And it's just in Vox, and it's Palestine.
Free Palestine.
He's got a load of funny ones in here.
If you ain't a Christian, blown dance. I got I got depression.
Yeah, so he's just got a bunch of things in here. I just found this one on Reddit, to be honest. And that's just the first bit done. I got my second 808 here, and this is an effect I liked to do. I experimented with this for the first time today, or when I made this beat. And that effect is this. So I like that a lot. And the way I did that is I just got really small notes. As you see, these aren't slides, by the way. These are just placed notes. I'm sure I added it to... No, I put it on third step. There we go. And I just placed one in every box. Kind of. You can see it's not really on beat. I didn't put it on beat because it would be way too like robotic, so I kind of just placed them anywhere really, and it gave this effect. I put it down, and that did that, and then I copied it, reversed it by when I highlight it like this, and then press Alt and Y, it'll flip it. So I did that. I'm not going to accept that, and it flipped it, and I put it down a few notes, and this one sounds like this. Just got like a it's really like a wet effect. And then this is the second half of the 808. If you're wearing headphones or listening on speakers, you'll be able to tell that there's some panning in here. So some of the notes are panned left and right. This one goes across, and actually that's the only one in this pattern. But you'll be able to hear that if you're wearing headphones. And then I needed a break from the first half, so I introduced this part of this melody. And I took out the synth, and I just added this 808, which is on its own, no kick or anything. And then my counter snare's gone back in. And then this part got my original guitar sample, and I added like a kind of just really as basic as I could go drill pattern. Just because I was experimenting, I wanted to throw people off guard, you know, so I just did a basic kind of more towards like New York drill pattern. And it's just it's not, I don't really need to show you this one, but it's so simple. It's just a hi-hat, an 808, and a normal snare. That's it.
Psych.
And I put a gap in here. I went online and I found like a Siri voice, and I put psych. So just to kind of confuse the listener.
Psych.
And I chopped it again, and I put I'm not done.
I'm not done.
And then my second drop is more automation. This is where the other ones come in. So I've got this on only my drum bus. I did nothing to the instrument like with the guitar. And I've got, let me see which one it is. Right, okay, it's this gross beat. And it's another vinyl cut off, but it's a bit more dramatic. It's down towards the bottom. The other one cut like stopped about here. And I got this Effectrix preset, which is an X loop, which loops it and like puts it up in pitch. And I got a scratch loop, which just loops it and scratches it at the same time. And then that one sounds like this. That's that, and this part is not automation. I just cut and copied so it gives this glitch effect. And that's that for this drop. And that's just a reverse 808. Literally just grabbed an 808, put it in the playlist and click reverse. And played with this little in knob so it comes up in volume. The counter snare, the kick, and the actual snare the same. The only thing I really changed through this section is my 808. So I've got the same 808, just a couple different patterns. I don't really need to show you that. And then I come in with this grind bass. And I just got that playing and fading out, and then it drops and does too. Just for some effect. Then I got this 808, which might be from my kit. I can't actually remember. One sec. What one is it? It's this. Nope, it's from Ghosties. So this is this one. The 909 Highest Me Volume 1 or version 1. And I just placed the pattern with this, no slides. Just a simple pattern. And I got this soft 808 from my kit. Let me go to that real quick. I just thought I'd show you where I got everything from as well, just so you lot can know what packs to get and stuff. That's this 808. And I just normal notes, double note, and then coming down. Back to the normal 808 here. This is another 808, but I just placed that, and then I got this garage like kind of 808 sound coming in, and I cut out the melody for the first time, so it stood out a lot more, and I added back the synth. And that's just like that, and that comes from, I think, Cosfinger and Ewan Carter, which is this one, this sound here. And then I bring back in my synth. This carries on. I don't really do anything much different for this part other than this 808, which I actually layered. I kind of chorded this 808, which looks crazy, but it sounds good. Again, I was just experimenting, seeing what pushing my boundaries, seeing what I can do and that. And this is what that sounds like. That sounds like that. And that's also panned a little bit. And these notes aren't slides. They're just placed. They sound quite cool. I like doing them. I do them quite a lot throughout this. And then I also done the same thing as earlier, just not as dramatic. I took a gap 4, then 4. And then I needed another break, so I got this guitar from the intro and I played it on its own with the synth again. And then this one from the other break with the hi-hat. And then after the hi-hat, I introduced the snare, so it's just the hi-hat and the snare playing. Then I cut it out towards the end and I get another Siri voice saying one more time.
One more time.
Just to get the listener ready for another drop. And then I got this, I think it's a dubstep sound from Looperman. And it sounds like this. And I put that. But as you can see, it's got some automation on it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's got this. So the automation on this one, as the Serum Growl is here. I just added a parametric EQ. Just literally normal. Come to EQ, click it. I pressed on mastering and I put just 20 Hertz cut or 20 Hertz to 18K Hertz cut. And then I'm not going to do it now because it'll mess up my automation, but just click and move this around. As long as it moves, it's fine. And then come up to tools. Click on last tweaked, which is what you last moved. And then where is it? Automation clip here. So it will put an automation clip with the last thing you moved. So that's how to do things. If you can't add an automation clip on something, you can always do it by just moving it and coming to that button there. And that way I had control of this moving when I wanted it to. So now it looks like this. It just opens up. It goes from really filtered and really cut off, and it opens up like that. So it gives like a drop effect. And then obviously that's the automation was what it looks like. It just goes up. And then I got this sound, which I did the exact same thing for. Again, I didn't even bother to put it into a different mixer channel. I just added it to this one, and that thing happens again for this. You can see it's tracking and going across like that. And then after that little bit, after that, I've got my drum bus again, got my gross beat, and I've just got this 1 beat repeat here. Just so it repeats. It's pretty simple. It's easier than cutting it and repeating it like that. And that little effect here, it's not an actual separate effect. That's the melody doing something with Effectrix. So I come to my instrument bus. As you can see, more automation on that. And that is just a tonal delay with my X loop and a little bit of reverb on that. That's the preset. And that just comes across with this. I turn it up here. And I turn it back down so my melody goes back to normal. Then this 808 is part of this drop. That's the first 808 for that drop. I cut all the instruments out apart from the melody just so this part stands out. More 808s, more grind basses, which you're going to hear now. I'll get to that garage bit first, but but first let me just do this and come to my magnet. Third step again, put a note in every 4 little boxes when you zoom in, and just go down in pitch. Make sure you stay in scale, and that gives that effect. Obviously this first note is just a slide. It just gives more like an epic vibe. Epic, I haven't used the word epic in time. Okay, then I got my grind bass. Then I cut everything out. As you can see, everything, including my synth's not even playing anyway, so cut my guitar out, all the instrument, just so this could shine. And what I did, it was really simple. I just wanted this garage sound to be really noticeable, but it just sounded really plain. If I was just to play it on its own, it sounds rubbish. So I got the same garage sound from the pack and I just dragged it straight into the playlist. That way I can reverse it. Double clicked it. It used to look like this, and then I reversed it, put it into pitch, and now it looks like this. So it builds up to that garage sound. So now it sounds like this. It sounds much better. It's like a garage riser. It's the riser of its own sound. And then again, more 808s. Yep, that's another effect or like kind of thing that I'm going to show you how I did. A lot of this I'm just pressing stuff and seeing what sounds nice. I've used this in another beat actually. So this part, let me just mute everything so you can actually hear it properly. That there. So I've got a couple notes, and then I've got notes like this in every 2 boxes, and I've got slides above it. And then I highlighted the slides, and as you can see, I played with the velocity and I put it coming up in velocity, so it sounds like this now. Sounds much better rather than if it was like this. That's way too aggressive. I wanted it to kind of build up, so I left clicked, or right clicked actually, and dragged up like this so it fades up. Like that, and then I've got this same effect that I've been using throughout the track. And I put this, copied it, and put it underneath. I actually did this by accident. I wanted it to just go like this, and then do this repeating. But I left these 2 by here, and it made a cool effect. And then, again, standard for the second part of the 808. And then the last break, which is just the outro for the song. I think, yeah, I still left the synth out, and I just got this guitar again, and I just added a more relaxed 808. This is what this out sounds like. And as you can see, that 808 bleeds over into this part, which is just the ending. I didn't want it to, because if it cut too abruptly, it would sound like this. I just thought that was a bit too like sudden, so I just let it bleed over into the next one. It's more gradual. That was better. Got my tag, made that glitchy as well. I just got my tag and cut it up and just made it sound cool. And this is the end of the beat.
Thank you for listening.
Got another Siri voice just saying thank you for listening. And I've got that same vinyl cut off playing again here. I just turned it back on just so it fades out or kind of like shuts out for the end of the beat. Throughout it, I've got risers, just normal risers, or just effects. I've got this one, and I've got just I just got transition effects just to make the beat sound a bit smoother. But other than that, that is pretty much literally everything I did for the beat. I'll go through some of the mix and stuff now. I just got EQs for the melody because it was already had reverb. It was a good loop from Looperman, so literally just an EQ cut in because there was quite a lot of bass in it, and I wanted my 808 to shine, so I cut that. And then I dimmed the mids and the very highs. And then for my drums, just EQ for the counter snare. This is what my mix and chain is for my 808. So I've got the highs cut and I've boosted the lows a bit. And then I added a blood overdrive just to give it some more oomph. Like I got the times 100 turned on, the color turned up a bit, pre-band and post filter turned up, and the preamp turned up a little bit because I've got this on. It times it by 100, so I don't need to do that much. Snare's normal with an EQ. Kick's got an EQ and a soft clipper just so, because it was clipping quite a lot. My grind bass doesn't have anything on it. It's a good sound on its own. Just like, you don't need to do too much with your mixing, because if you've got good sounds, then you don't need to do too much. This has just got an EQ. This 12's just got my Effectrix and the EQ. And then the rest of it is just risers and sounds and just random stuff that I've got throughout the beat. And then this is, obviously I've shown you my drum bus. This is all the automation for all the drums. Rather than put in each of these on every single drum, I just linked all my drums to one channel so I can put it all in one. Same with my instrument because I've got quite a few melodies obviously. But other than that, that is literally the whole beat. My kit will be linked in the description. It's my Alien drum kit. It will be in the comments as well. Ghosty's kit, 909 Warriors, find it online, purchase that. And Ewan Carter and Costfinger has a kit called Grouse. You can find that online as well. I'm pretty sure they're the only 3 kits I used in this. And Wake Up Filthy's drum kit, which I use for some of the vocal effects. But other than that, that's the only kits I use. Mainly mine, to be honest. Mine and Ghosty's, really, to make this beat. And these loops are all from Looperman. Okay, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you lot taking the time to watch this breakdown. I'll be coming with tutorials soon rather than just breakdowns. I will do some breakdowns because I've made some beats off camera, but I'll try to remember to record all the stuff I make, especially when I'm bored, because that's when I make my best stuff. But other than that, thank you lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.